I wanted to bring you what I thought was a pretty good little rundown. I'll be talking about this more next week with a special guest on the show. But they were tweeting about a common question I get asked when I give talks is what let's see, Dr. Aaron, graduate student researching the role of science in climate communications. Okay. But what can I do as an individual? And he says nothing, but then wait, just wait a second. He says, we cannot address the climate crisis as individuals. The crisis is a symptom of a system of social relations, and therefore we must cooperate to collectively change that form of social organization. Luckily for us, humans are good at this. We all exist in thick social networks as groups, communities, societies, cooperation, collaborating, creating, and innovating together. Humans have flourished because we work in collectives and not as individuals. He then talked about how the IPCC, which, by the way, is kind of like a milquetoast, report. Like the IPCC does say we are fucked. We have 2 degrees of warming Celsius. We need to work. We need to get to work immediately. And even that, I've read articles about how that is kind of like a weak version of what we should be saying about this. But anyway, the IPCC report on mitigation is clear that we have high confidence that collective action as part of social or lifestyle movements underpins systems change. And then, of course, Margaret Thatcher said the opposite. You're an individual. Ignore society. It doesn't matter. Just go out for yourself and do nothing else. Too bad she's dead, That's really... I every night I'm like, if only Margaret were here. If only Maggie were here. Maggie. Instead, we must recognize that it's only by taking action together. And I think this is an accidental image because he's got nuclear pipes there. I don't think he meant that. But
what do you mean?
Well, it's supposed to be about oil, and these are nuclear exhausts.
Oh, it's supposed to be about oil?
I mean, he's talking about fossil fuels and stuff. He's not talking about nuclear at the moment.
Well,
he's talking about fossil fuel industrialists. And
he says it as an example, e.g., fossil fuel.
Yeah, but these are nuclear.
No,
they're unrelated to what
I know, but that was just an example. And then the image makes you think, oh, it's also fucking nuclear. I see where he's going with this.
I can't believe you're trying to defend this indefensible image. Hey, the role of the climate concerned activist then is A, to educate others about how we can collectively respond. B, I was about to say two, and
that's
F,
what I do.
To agitate and support others to take collective action. And G, organize groups into larger, more powerful communities pushing for change. So I thought these were great points that, like, yes, the ability to create change is here, but it's cooperative. It's us coming together, fighting, alerting others through this, working as groups. What happened?
Somebody said I thought it was huge trash cans full of paper. Okay, so that image is just not popular.
I mean, it had dollars in it. I got the dollars. Okay, there was the dollar sticking out of it, but it was nuclear smokestacks.
They're also they're
steam stacks.
Well, they could also be for coal plants. Somebody is pointing out, which is true. Those look like the cooling towers I saw in Germany.
These are absolutely nuclear.
Okay, I'm just
100%.
I'm just saying it could be either.
No.
Either.
Nope.
Okay.
And either cannot be either. All right. I want to show this clip that you found.
I like how I'm getting props for finding clips.
Although I will say this is one. I got to give myself a little credit. I had seen. So that counts for something. Well, do you want to give, I know we've talked about it a lot, but do you want to give a quick tutorial on MVP?
Yes. I also have a podcast on Project Censored with someone with who's fighting the MVP. So look out for that as well.
By the way, everyone in the chat is still talking about moisture and moist.
Can you stop saying that?
Well, it's that.
You didn't have to point it. There's also people talking about all kinds of shit in the chat. You're just taking that. You're picking that particular thing out of the chat.
Sorry.
You asshole. Okay, so the Mountain Valley Pipeline is like a zombie of a fucking pipeline. It was first The project first came up in 2014 and it was supposed to be done in 2018. It is like
Horrific.
not even 60% done yet.
Would pump insane amounts of crude oil.
No, it's a fracked gas pipeline.
Sorry, natural gas.
We don't like the term natural gas because it sounds too nice.
Yeah, no, I know. They carefully workshop that. No, I've said that before. Don't say natural gas. Say planet. What was it? Planet destroying fluid or something.
Natural gas is what happens when you've had too many beans. This is fracked gas. It is shit that is highly flammable, and they actually do talk, like when you look at the plans for a fracked gas pipeline, they have around it the blast zone. Do you want to know why? Because literally every fracked gas pipeline is a bomb waiting to go off. And if you even so much as light a match, if there's a small leak, or hell, you could even just be checking your phone, and there's enough of a spark, if there's a slight leak in that pipeline, which you can't see, by the way, that you could fucking explode, and a blast zone around you could just decimate whatever is there. I don't know, schools?
And it happened in Pennsylvania, killed 3 people, and then Chevron, or I think it was Chevron, sent everyone in town a slip for a pizza.
Lee, it wasn't a piece of pizza. It was a whole. It was a
whole
large,
pizza.
I think it was a large pizza.
Whole large pizza.
A large pizza. Okay.
We're sorry. We've been blowing up your town and killing people. Here's a pizza.
I mean, I think that's fair. So the Mountain Valley Pipeline, originally slated to be 300 miles. Now there's what's called the Southgate Extension, which would add another, I don't remember exactly how many miles, but would go through several counties in North Carolina, and would include a compressor station, which is a very disgusting aspect of fracked gas pipelines. Oh, guess what? In a predominantly Black neighborhood. And is already decimating large parts of Appalachia, which is a temperate rainforest, by the way. Appalachia is one of the most biodiverse regions in the world, and we don't talk about it that way. They're like, oh, they're just some like fucking hillbillies who live up. No, it is an incredibly biodiverse region with some incredibly fucking rad humans.
Yeah.
And as evidenced in this video, there are some rad people there who are willing to fight incredibly hard to ensure that this does not get done, because as we've covered in previous episodes, the Mountain Valley Pipeline was included in the fucking debt ceiling bill, because that's a thing now.
Like approving it after it had been stopped.
Forcing it through.
Forcing it through was included, yeah.
And because of that, there have been legal battles about Mountain Valley Pipeline for years, because they keep fucking breaking their permits. They keep polluting and destroying areas. There are people who don't have any water left because of them. And so they've been in court, and the Fourth Circuit Court had basically put a stop on construction. And then the Supreme Court stepped in and said, actually, fuck y'all, we are going to force this through because it was part of the debt ceiling bill that Congress passed. Holy shitballs. That's insane.
This pipeline will not die.
Right. So now people are there's still battles happening in courts, but a lot of people are realizing, okay, we just have to fucking show up with our bodies and stop it that way. So Appalachians Against Pipelines is the group that has primarily been doing most of the frontline work on fighting this pipeline. And they just did an action a couple of days ago, and that's the video that we're sharing.
Here we go.
Yeah, we got 8 trespassers.
Stop! You need to stop!
You guys are putting yourselves in danger being out here. You trespassing.
I love that image so much.
And well done, guys. And something we've highlighted before is, I know that the poo-pooers we'll go, oh, who cares? They'll be back at it tomorrow. What's it matter? But it actually does matter, because as these things happen and as the numbers of them grow, it causes enough of delay. I mean, they lose millions of dollars for every hour that these construction sites are shut down. And it makes it harder to insure them. It makes it harder for the company to have them to get them running. And sometimes there's been evidence. I mean, there have been moments where they've literally backed out of a pipeline because of all those reasons. They're fighting it in court, fighting it on the ground. Eventually they were like, we're fucking losing too much money. So it does have a massive impact.
Well, and MVP was supposed to be like $3 billion. It's already more than double that. So this is the plan, is to continue to stop work. There was just today, there were a couple of folks who locked down. I haven't had a chance to look and see how that played out, but there are going to be continuous waves of actions happening. And for those who are in the region, unfortunately, I can't make it to this, but if you are in the West Virginia or Virginia area.
Why don't you take your private jet? Don't you have one?
Wait, did you get me one? Was that my birthday present?
I've got a GoFundMe for it right now. Going.
So the Power Coalition, spelled POWHR, the Power Coalition has a Stop MVP weekend of like basically action trainings and information sessions.
Will there be dancing?
Yes, there is music.
Up, music. Boom.
Music,
food, action.
There's also going to be childcare. So if you were thinking of going but have a kid.
Oh my God, they should have the childcare like on the construction site.
Lee, that's
so
terrible.
No, so the machines have to stop because there's fucking children there.
I would not trust them to do that. No, that's not a good idea. Lee is not organizing.
Damn
these
it!
actions, by
I
the
never
way.
get to organize.
So it's going to be August 26th and 27th at the Sweet Springs Resort in West Virginia. So do check that out if you have the ability, because it's, I mean, yeah.
Cool.
It's going to be rad, I imagine. And yeah, Appalachians Against Pipelines is another one to watch.